From the kitchen of the cabin, it's the 5 Games for Doomsday review. The Artemis Project. Why do we play games? I'm sorry, could there be a more pompous start to a review possible? Please excuse me for attempting to speak for you. I have no idea why you play games. It's just that when I'm confronted with the blank page, I come over a little bit pontifical. I can't help it. My compulsion to seem clever is as powerful as my compulsion to come across as cool, and it's a hard lesson to learn when, on one fateful day, that you realise you fail spectacularly at both, and as the grey hairs creep across your head, the chances of pulling back from that particular abyss is becoming less and less likely. But, as I excel in being average, I would assume that some of my motivations may bisect with yours, and in some ways, pray they are few, we are the same. So I'll rephrase the question, and if the answer in some way gels with your conception of things, then it's proof that even the lowliest of human animals, the idiot trying to make their way through Podcastville, can connect in a purely human way with their betters. That's you, by the way. Why do I play games? There are some that hold fun as the cardinal value. This seems a bit of a thin description for the visceral and intellectual stimulation I get when sitting at the table. I know that things can have different meanings for different people, but fun always evokes the adrenal for me. Fun never seems contemplative. It seems active, it seems loud, it seems raucous, and while it can be rewarding, it's not what I get from games. What I get from games is different. What I get from games is the radiation of warmth from my stomach to my toes and fingers. It is the play and replay of mistakes and moments of triumph. It is the sudden dissipation of tension by a plan realised. Sure, it's about sharing a space with others and virtually high-fiving people on Twitter, but fundamentally, it is a feeling that I can only characterise as satisfaction. I play games because it satisfies me. It is a deep and quiet satisfaction that I can take from a game night into the rest of my week. The Artemis Project from Grand Gamers Guild is a game that delivers that satisfaction, and it does it concisely and elegantly. In the Artemis Project, players take on the role of pioneers seeking to exploit the mineral wealth of the most bijou of the Galilean moons, Europa. This is achieved by the use of dice that are rolled and placed in various stations around the board. One station allows you to embark on expeditions for rewards, another allows you to drill into the crust of the planet for energy or minerals. You can erect buildings and hire and train operatives. On some spaces, lower rolls will allow you to grab the initiative, while on others, higher rolls will leave you unassailable. What all of these spaces have in common, though, is that they utilise bidding in some way to grant their awards, and it is direct competition with those around the table that will ensure success or failure. The Artemis Project is highly interactive, and that's to its enormous credit. The decision space in this game not only revolves around what is directly beneficial to you, but you also have to anticipate the actions of your opponents and delay or adapt your plans to the whims of those around you. This transforms the time between turns and the conversations above the table into a devious game of bluff and counter-bluff as you try to subtly guide your opponent into making the way clear for you. The fact that it rarely works doesn't make the game any less fun. This is not a social manipulation game though, as the scaffolding of the game is sturdy and well built. Phases flow beautifully into one another, and it's clear that effort has been made to make the game feel cohesive and skillfully constructed. There's also enough give in the game that different approaches can yield fruit. You could be parsimonious, only collect what you need, or fill your warehouses to bursting in anticipation of a rainy day, and both strategies seem plausible. You can be aggressive and try to price your opponents out, or quiet and diffident and take the path less trodden and achieve what you want. Though there is interaction here, you can deftly avoid it if you wish, or lunge headfirst into the fray, and both work. As with any bidding game, there is an advantage to going last, but building the right building or hiring the right workers can make that advantage carry less and less weight. The game offers solutions to the problems it creates. You never feel that chance has screwed you. If you fail, it is down to your bad planning, and that is the hallmark of any great game. The best thing about the design of this game is that it places bidding at the core of it. Many games bolt a bidding phase onto the design to add drama, but as with games like Sulla and Modern Art, the Artemis Project realises the inherent drama of bidding itself and builds the entire game around it. Not only that, but it manages to deliver that experience in a playtime that falls perfectly within the Goldilocks zone. The Artemis Project is an elegantly tooled machine, and while it doesn't occupy the higher reaches of the art form like their previous release Endeavour, this is a game that delivers a great experience and never skimps on constant engagement. Why do I play games? It's because I crave satisfaction, and the Artemis Project delivers it in spades. Thank you for listening, and you could support the show by going to patreon.com/5G4D.